Are great trial lawyers just born that way? No, I don't think so. To the contrary, I think most great trial lawyers are forged over time. But the answer is not simple, and there are countless variables which factor into the development of a great trial lawyer. In this video, I'll discuss one of the most important traits to cultivate and something I believe is required for success as a trial lawyer: grit. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing below to get updates on new videos I release. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. While a small number of trial lawyers have achieved great success right from the start, many more started out by losing. What separates the majority of great trial lawyers from everyone else is their response to losing and failure. The simple truth is, great trial lawyers do not give up in response to failure, sometimes repeated, brutal failures in trial. They soldier on, embrace their failures as learning opportunities, and eventually achieve great success. Boiled down, this is nothing more than stick-to-itiveness or grit. And it's a key characteristic to develop for any lawyer focused on becoming a successful trial lawyer. If you've not already watched it, I recommend Professor Angela Duckworth's TED Talk on grit and how perseverance for long-term goals is a significant predictor of ultimate success. Professor Duckworth has conducted extensive research on the role that foundational skills like self-control and perseverance play in achievement. Professor Duckworth and her team studied students at Chicago public schools to determine whether a student's grit, measured during junior year of high school, predicted graduation the following year. In her study, students completed a survey that included 4 items from the grit scale, and this was mixed in with many other questions that measured a variety of factors thought to predict high school graduation, such as school safety, teacher support, peer support, parental support, conscientiousness, and school motivation. Professor Duckworth and her team found that the single biggest predictor of graduation, the number one factor out of many other variables, was grit. Students who scored high on the grit scale were found to graduate at a much higher rate than their less gritty peers. It stands to reason then that the greater your grit, the greater your chance of succeeding as a trial lawyer. Can you develop or increase your grit? Absolutely, if you're committed. How do you develop grit? First, you must find what you are desperate to achieve. For wannabe trial lawyers, do you have a burning desire to bring about a momentous outcome for a client at trial? Are you hell-bent on achieving a noteworthy verdict? Because that is the fuel that drives the grit train. If not, you won't push past the inevitable avalanche of adversity that covers the path ahead. Second, you must prepare yourself ahead of time to embrace failure. I know that sounds weird, but while there are a couple freaky outliers out there who have never lost a trial, most great trial lawyers have lost trials, some many. Losing a trial is soul-crushing. You put in tons of hard work. You're responsible for your client's well-being, and then 12 people publicly reject you and your client who you were tasked to protect. That is brutal. If you haven't prepared yourself ahead of time for the brutal reality of a trial loss, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to handle when it happens. Recognizing ahead of time that there will be losses will give you greater courage, resolve, and strength of character to keep going. Third and finally, you need to do what I call embrace the suck and recharacterize how you see trial and the possibility of losing. Yes, you want to do everything you can to win, but a loss is not a statement of who you are. It's a learning opportunity. See it as a great teaching moment and story for you and others. While you're going to do everything in your power to win and to never lose, loss is an invaluable experience that will help you improve and do an even better job the next time around. So those, to me, are the 3 most important ways to develop grit that will help you become a better trial lawyer in the future. And that's what you need to succeed. That's it for this episode of The Persuasive Lawyer. I'm Brendan Lupiton. Thank you for watching, and please make sure to check out other videos on my channel.